Hello, my name is Daryl Warner, and this is my PowerPoint presentation for the portfolio portion of my internship in educational leadership. I've spent the last 7 months developing a better understanding of the Indiana school leadership standards and how they relate to the past and current practices. Uh, this experience has been invaluable to me as both a current and future educational leader. First, a little bit about myself, a little bit about my background. I have 3 degrees from Indiana University Bloomington. I completed my first degree and my bachelor's degree in 2002 in general studies with a concentration in business, economics, and geography. I then continued on to get my master's in secondary education, which I completed in 2004. Following that, I taught for 2 years in Anderson, Indiana, teaching economics, U.S. history, geography, and was eventually laid off before I moved on and taught at Irvington. While there, I spent 6 years at Irvington and worked as associate teacher, assistant principal, and principal as the school grew from 45 students to over 350, and the staff grew from four of us up to 30. For the last 3 years, I've worked as an assistant principal at Lebanon Middle School, and I've had an opportunity to focus on school improvement from the school and district level, and have worked with the district level efforts to develop a strong curriculum map as well as an effective and consistent response to intervention plan. My long-term professional goals. My long-term professional goals is to be a leader from the district perspective. Primarily, my interests lie in the areas of curriculum and instruction, with the goal of eventually serving as a district superintendent. As I've worked through the internship and through my doctoral work, I have continued to believe more deeply in my personal mission to help all students reach their full potential, personally, socially, and economically. I see education as a great opportunity for students to increase their potential and achieve more than their parents or grandparents. As such, I'm a strong believer in the idea that schools must strive to help all students learn and be prepared for life after their formal education. In order to be in order to effectively achieve this goal, students must be presented with a challenging curriculum and an engaging classroom environment that fosters learning. Additionally, schools must must utilize data to ensure that all students are getting the support they need to be successful in both their current level and in the future. More specifically, my goal is to be a transformational leader who fosters a culture of success throughout the school community and demands excellence from students regardless of their background. During my internship experience, I logged 161 hours in district level activities. I primarily focused on district wide curriculum mapping and standardizing the district's response to intervention process. The first two projects, and one that I spent the, or of the first two projects, the one that I spent the most time on is developing the school-wide curriculum map. Lebanon is in year 4 of this curriculum mapping process, and has spent a lot of time over the summer focusing on different subject matters, then returning to that group of teachers each summer to further develop and refine the map. Throughout this year, I worked closely with the English and Social Studies department at the middle school while remaining in regular contact with leaders from the elementary and high schools to ensure that we retain both vertical and horizontal alignment of the curriculum. Additionally, I work closely with Diane Scott, the Lebanon Director of Curriculum and Instruction, as well as Janet Hale, who is a consultant that the school district has been working with for the last several years as they've gone through this process. The second major project I worked on as part of this internship is development of a common RTI, response to intervention process across the district. This process began as I joined an already existing committee working on the development of the RTI module within our student management system. As this discussion progressed, it became apparent that each level, elementary, middle school, and high school, were using their own systems for RTI and each had a unique set of vocabulary. This lack of consistency across the buildings made it difficult for us to digitize the RTI system to something that would work for all schools. So to resolve this issue, I worked with a group from the elementary and high schools, along with teacher representatives from middle school, to create an RTI handbook for each level. Each level consists of a common set of processes with a building level modifications to ensure that the system works best for the students and staff of that building. At this point, the RTI group is continuing to meet and will continue to meet through the school year as we roll out the new RTI process in the fall and fully implement it in the January of 2015. Additionally, I worked with a variety of other projects, including capital projects and planning for the middle school, attending district level administrative meetings, interviewing assistant principal candidates, serving on the district level organization to review classroom grant applications. Each of these projects directly related to the Indiana school leadership, district level standards, and helped me become develop a stronger connection between the standards and the work required to be an effective district leader. More specifically, these standards have been organized into 3 different platforms that describe effective district leadership, political leadership, instructional leadership, and facilities and human resource leadership. The first platform at the district level district level leader must understand is that of political leadership. From a political perspective, a leader must be able to have the ability to embrace change, focus on developing the will and skill within the school community, consider multiple political perspectives, and enact reform, understanding research and data to support their decisions. A political leader must have the capacity to embrace the inevitable change that happens within the educational community with an understanding that the world our students live in evolves, or as the world our school students live in evolves, we must grow and evolve with it. Another key component of the effective district level leadership is the ability of an instructional leader to be an instructional leader. My core instructional beliefs have developed throughout my experience as a teacher and administrator, both in the charter and traditional public schools. My core beliefs with respect to instructional leadership are that schools must have a guaranteed and viable curriculum, a student-focused decision-making process, and an accountability system that focuses on improvement for teachers, administrators, and the school as a whole. Facilities and human resource leadership is also essential to effective leadership at the district level. To build a successful school, it is imperative to hire and develop the best people for your organization. In many cases, the best person for the organization is not necessarily the one with the most impressive credentials or experience, but rather the individual that is most dedicated to the core mission and ongoing vision of the school district. For this reason, it is important to establish a hiring process that will allow those individuals best suited for the district to be drawn to the organization and have an opportunity to express their talents and skills during the hiring process. Looking back at this experience, it has greatly increased my understanding of the connection between the Indiana school leadership district standards and the skills and knowledge necessary to be an effective school leader. Furthermore, I now feel better prepared to move to building level leadership, or from building level leadership role into a district level position with a broad vision it takes to lead a district from a multiple perspectives of political, instructional, and facilities and human resources. I really appreciate you watching this PowerPoint and learn a little about me and my experiences throughout this internship. Thanks a lot.